I've just created a bridge that connects Australia to Austria just to make everything so much more confusing. At least it would make sense now why they have such similar names. They border each other now, so this is how they got the idea. Now, statistically speaking, this doesn't increase their area very much. I mean, Australia already starts near the top, but this does help them pull them ahead of China. Meanwhile, Austria, I think, is just barely making it to the top 10. You might be wondering how I did this, since Austria is technically a landlocked nation. Sorry, Italy and Slovenia. And we have a bridge out here that escapes the Mediterranean, goes straight on south through the Atlantic Ocean, and then heads on through the Indian Ocean. I believe this game updated, so now the borders wrap around the globe. Flat Earthers are devastated right now. So the United States through Alaska can attack Russia, and I believe it might be Peru that could be attacking New Zealand. I'm not sure if this is going to help Australia or make things probably harder. What's going to be really interesting is the Austrian Habsburgs might finally be able to get that colony empire they've always wanted. They didn't really do that much in history, but now they can easily go after South America or Africa. They're actually going to probably start fighting the Canadians out here in the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. Very worried for Austria because Vienna is just kind of packed in. If anyone's going to not survive, it's going to be them. All right, well, let's see what happens to this world after this bridge has been connected. So everyone is going after their ocean tiles, of course. Oh, interesting. It's actually going to be Portugal that for now borders Canada because I forgot about this island. Meanwhile, the Austrians now border by sea Brazil as well as Sierra Leone and Liberia. Wonder how long it'll take before this war starts up. Australia is slowly stretching to touch Madagascar. Look at all these wars that have already immediately started. Chill, guys, chill. Interesting. Already Croatia's gone. This doesn't bode well probably for Vienna. And then we have Germany and Czechia getting into it, and Berlin is about to fall. There goes Berlin. All right, well, if things weren't already difficult enough for Austria, man, I kind of am rooting for them though. Like, they are clearly the underdogs in this weird bridge map. I mean, Australia is always a possible win in this game. They're just nicely located on this corner. Maybe it doesn't stretch around. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. One thing I like about this though is even if one of the main nations does die, everyone's going to be able to use this bridge. So like, what happens? How do the other nations make use of the random bridge? It's not really random. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love for this to be the case. Austria has allied to Slovakia, weirdly, and Slovakia is going after Poland. Again, Czechia is going to be the big threat to them in Europe. We also have Romania attacking Ukraine, or I think it's actually vice versa. Iran moving in after Afghanistan. Meanwhile, Central Asia is slowly cleaning up. Okay, there's a lot of movement. Oh wow, Ukraine immediately took out both Moldova and Romania. Ukraine's looking big. Slovakia's peaced out with Poland, so they're going to survive for now. Glad that Austria has at least one friend. Oh man, I wish Austria and Australia would become allies. That would be nice. Possible. It's definitely possible. Well, now Australia is attacking a Madagascar. And there goes France. So now we have Brittany being colonized by the UK. Maybe they're called Luxembourg now. They're getting, oh, that's actually, dang it, that's Belgium. I was so excited. Also Spain and Switzerland getting some after the fall of France. Laos has some pretty nice borders. They've combined, well, they took over Cambodia physically. Also have the Philippines going after Taiwan. Puerto Rico's taken out the Dominican Republic and have a Caribbean empire kind of starting to form. Why does Europe already look like such a mess? Ireland has successfully invaded Wales. About time. And actually we have our first revolt, Gabon out of Cameroon. Belarus is trying to fight through the two tiles to get to Warsaw, basically. Big question is, how does the old friend of Austria feel about all this? Hungary. Hungary's allied to Slovenia. Is it possible we get an Australian-Hungarian alliance from all the memes? I mean, they could take over the bridge. Africa's got a lot going on right now. Netherlands and Denmark kind of fighting it out. Meanwhile, Italy going after Switzerland, and actually they're able to move around the Alps. They might be able to push through, but I'm not sure. Of course, some of the microstates are getting eaten in South Africa. Come on, Australia. You need to fight while Sierra Leone is distracted. I think they're worried about starting a war just because they've got so many enemies, possible enemies, back at home. A little bit of movement out of the Baltic states as Lithuania goes after Latvia. Also, we have Ireland going after, is this Denmark? That's weird. Also, Iceland was involved for a second. Oh man, how could this happen? Hungary has backstabbed. Oh! Okay, Austria has used their bridge powers to take out their old friend Hungary. They have reformed and forced Hungary back into the game, even though they look horrible. Did they? What happened? Is something happened bad? I think they were in a war, but they stopped them. Austria still remains about the same in terms of size. Meanwhile, Australia, they're still in fourth too. There goes Belarus, and meanwhile, Czechia and Poland getting into it. Man, if you need to really root for Poland, because if Poland collapses Czechia, Austria's going to get a lot out of that. They're actually a little bit safer now without Slovenia here too. Oh boy, oh boy. You want them to push. You need to help out, man. Saudi Arabia's making some gains. Ooh, big war in the south of Asia. Now Denmark going after Czechia. Austria's got some money right here. There's a lot of jumping off. I mean, I think Austria could probably get to that Roman capital. There's no like hidden behind the peninsula like they usually get to do. Russia repeating old mistakes, going after Finland, and they are paying for it heavily. Czechia now moving in through Denmark and up to Sweden. Oh, Poland got collapsed. That's not good. Holy crap, Finland was about to take Moscow already. I think the UK is dead. Yes. Yes, Ireland helped clean that up. Meanwhile, we have Italy taking this capital of Switzerland and eliminating Switzerland. This is interesting because now Spain is blocked. Oh, Spain can't get to their islands. Normally the Iberians love to attack down through Africa, but Austria is stopping that. I'm so focused on Austria that I could totally see Australia collapsing and then I completely miss it. They're currently allied to Indonesia right now. Austria still has 0 friends, which seems like kind of a problem. The longer they survive, the more money they can probably gain up. I mean, money's going to be nice, but you kind of still need friends. So your friends can give you some monies too. Russia and Finland have peaced out, and Finland is actually, oh, they're actually friends now. Russia respects Finland. It's about time. Oh, this is probably why, because China's attacking through Manchuria, or maybe vice versa. What a team. China, North Korea, and Japan. Meanwhile, South Korea has no friends. Caucasus Mountain region getting cleaned up a little bit. Turkey moving in after Iraq very slowly. Czechia continues to grow in strength. This is the biggest threat to Austria easily. Well, I guess it could be the Italians too. Crazy. This bridge really does keep Europe away from Africa. And I guess it does the same thing from South America's perspective from this continent too. So they're kind of just fighting amongst each other. Oh boy, Paraguay, are you sure you want to get involved in another war? I would recommend against that. Ooh, Jamaica taking over a majority of the Caribbean now with Puerto Rico. I don't know when Canada fell. That's crazy. Usually Canada is really good in this game. Also, Iceland moving in after Norway was collapsed. Austria is actually one of the richest nations on earth. They're 3rd place. Part of it, oh, they just allied to Czechia. Well, that is good news and bad news because Czechia is probably your biggest threat. Man, they're making bank. Meanwhile, Australia, I almost called them Austria. I almost made the golden mistake. They're sitting here with a good amount of gold reserve, but not as much. Ooh, some cleaning up is happening. Ooh, here's a big win for the Austrians. Well, not really. They're not getting that much land out of this. Okay, so there is finally a war. Austria is after Greece, Portugal, and who is this? Oh, it's just Portugal and Greece. Okay, wasn't really sure. Now let's see if you can actually make it to Athens. I doubt it. There's not enough tiles to work with. Oh, wow, they killed Portugal. That's crazy. They are getting very close to Athens. Wow. I will be so shocked if Austria somehow outlives Australia. I think that's pretty much impossible just because, like, who's going to kill Australia? No one can kill Australia. New Zealand always gets annexed by them. We got a really big Netherlands. Meanwhile, there's a war with the Italians now. Austria's still with a lot of gold. I wonder if Czechia was giving them a little bit of gold during that conflict. Only a couple of nations left here in Africa already. Oh, Southeast Asia really cleaned up by Thailand. There's actually a war for China with the help of the Philippines. Little oceanic alliance between Indonesia, Australia, and New Zealand. Oh man, Mexico and the Jamaican island. They are working together to fight the U.S. Brazil, of course, always coming out on top in South America. That little bit of land gained by Austria, I think they moved up 1 spot in the map. Ooh, now's the time to attack Greece, while Greece is fighting much bigger foe in Turkey. Although Turkey's fighting a 2-front war, wow, they're getting allied by Lebanon and Egypt. Oh man, they're closing down. This is like World War II. Both sides, you don't want, literally Germany's situation. You were allied to Germany in World War I. You should have known. Don't get into a front like this. Okay, Greece might get way more powerful. All Austria needs is for other people to collapse these nations too, so they can eat up the land next to them. Ukraine could be a problem because they're getting really big over here. I didn't realize Austria was the one that took out Albania. Weird alliances here. Tunisia allied to Italy. They're having to send gold over this bridge because they can't physically help Italy over their war with the Dutch. Russia now going in after Ukraine. They collapsed Ukraine. Austria got a little bit out of this. Also, they're moving in after the Baltics, something, one of those B words. And look at Greece go. They're getting really big, almost forming a Byzantium in a way. Wait, they have back Constantinople, don't they? Czechia now having to fight. Now, Austria is not involved in this. Why aren't you? What are you doing? Russia allied to Finland and Sweden for now. And meanwhile, a weird alliance with Mongolia and India going after China. I guess it's not that weird, but pretty smart. Colombia is trying to fight off the foe of Brazil with the help of Chile and Argentina. Russia's going in after Greece. There still isn't a huge... Oh, China collapsed. I didn't even see that. Wow, this throws everything upside down here in the Far East. This also makes Russia a lot safer. They don't have as big of a foe to worry about over here. Not yet, at least. Damn, Indonesia finally got rid of Papua New Guinea over here. There's only one enemy they have to worry about, the Solomon Islands. Oh boy, Austria's in a war. Austria's at a war finally with the Africans. They might establish maybe a land colony. We'll see. Czechia could be giving up a lot of gold. Wait a second. There was a war between Austria and Australia. Look, they lost land. Australia did. Ooh, one big victory for Austria. The impossible is beginning to maybe happen. When did that war take place? Wow, I cannot believe they actually lost land. Still, I very much worry for Austria back at home. Here's another war. Oh, against Brazil now. They might lose the bridge. They definitely might be losing the bridge. Also, the Brazilian military is being funded. I think that was by Paraguay. Wait, what is this? I don't remember. Did they put a core here or something? Honestly, I still don't really know exactly how this game works. Cities, something. Austria's got to worry because there's a bigger... Oh my goodness, look at this alliance. That's a huge alliance. Damn, look at that. Who collapsed that? That was Tunisia conquered by Austria. So they're going to get a little bit more... Oh boy, this is going to be it. Either Austria's going to die right here or they're going to get really thick. If they take out... I mean, they're surrounding the Bosnian capital and they're very close to Rome too. Oh man, is that also Indo? Ooh, oh, whoa, uh-oh. Who is this? Oh, that's Italy. No one expects the Italian march over the Alps, I guess. Oh man, Austria definitely needs to get rid of Bosnia. They're so close. And the Czechs just, oh, they did it. Okay, they did it. Now they need to worry about the Greeks backstabbing them. Interesting. So they did get Sicily and the boot of Italy. Austria's starting to look bigger and bigger. They didn't lose the bridge yet either. Austria is now up there. You can kind of see their name when scrolling to the top in terms of area. This is really a great example of how huge Russia is in the modern day map. This is the US with all of Canadian territory, and they're still not as big as Russia. Russia's so huge. Okay, so probably the Africans fighting amongst each other down here helps Austria a little bit. I can't believe Luxembourg is still alive. That Luxembourg is allied to Austria. Okay, so some members in South America are dying. Ooh, Australia has their old borders back where they have this side of New Guinea. India looks really powerful when they got all the south of China. Oh, Mongolia took out some of the Koreans. All of them, I think. Okay, there finally goes, I think that's Sweden. It's Iceland coming back and taking back Nordic territory. That's crazy. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, so this is bad for Austria, but they are close to Athens. They need to really ally to Greece, I think. Sorry, Turkey. Oh boy. The Greeks are very, okay, yeah, that was probably a good move to peace out. They were getting close to Vienna. So lucky you're cool with the Czechs. That's big. I wonder if Austria is big enough now where they can change their capital to the middle of this bridge, which would still be scary, but it's a good possibility. Ooh, now we have Russia fighting both Kazakhstan, a much bigger Kazakhstan, and Mongolia. Being funded by the Finns, though. Still, Austria's got a lot of money. They're actually number 2 in the world, and it's Australia. Man, I guess the bridge is really economically beneficial. Who would have guessed? I feel like this would actually ruin shipping routes, to be honest, but whatever. Oh man, okay, Austria's now got some friends because they finally allied to Italy. My fear is that Austria could get annexed diplomatically, but then again, they're kind of big. If anything, it might be Italy that has that happen to them. Ooh, war for Spain now. They're kind of the odd man out. Weirdly, Spain now allied to Morocco. What world is this? They literally are always like the greatest rivals. Saudi Arabia trying to reform kind of an Umayyad empire. They're looking a little bit like that. Morocco giving Spanish aid. Oh boy, here come the Austrians. Oh man, they are getting the vast majority of Iberia. They have made it to the doorsteps of Madrid, and there they go. Another war. Okay, can they survive this though? They have the Czechs' help. Problem is Libya down here is probably going to be pretty successful. Oh, the Czechs are really the ones that are doing most of the pushing. As long as Austria keeps these alliances. Austria's actually fallen in terms of land because of all the other nations that are getting even more land than them. They're actually not gaining as much ground as I thought in Brazil and Africa. Meanwhile, Australia is having a pretty normal game where they just kind of sit quietly. They might steal the victory at the end, so I'm enjoying watching the Austrians keep things entertaining. I'm kind of sad there is no Australian-Hungary Union though. Americans still trying to fight off Jamaica and Mexico back this way. Ooh, we have the Irish now moving in after Italy. I mean, might be kind of a blessing in disguise if, I mean, is it the Netherlands too? It might be the Netherlands too. Yeah, I think the Austrians really need to backstab the Italians at this point. Love how loyal they have been to the Czechs though. Kazakhstan and Mongolia still survive. Kenya's declared war. Okay, well, Kenya declared war. They're still going to this. Oh, Kenya has Madagascar. I don't know how they got that. Well, they got that and South Africa pushed them out a little bit. Yeah, this is going to be the real problem for all the Europeans. It's when Russia comes down, and I mean, we'll see if the Czechs can survive. The world really needs to worry, and I don't think they're focused enough on what the US is doing against Mexico, because as soon as they get rid of these two enemies, the US is going to probably start to snowball. They're just so safe in North America. And the Australians still going after Madagascar. Meanwhile, the Austrians helping out as maybe Ireland loses their life here. No, not yet, but Luxembourg was really close to getting to Dublin. They're going to try it again, but man, the European alliance is fighting two fronts with the Russians too. The Austrians are funding the Czechs at this war. I can't believe Estonia is still alive. I don't really know where Austria gains more ground at this point. Okay, well, maybe it will be against maybe here. Oh, well, there you go. They just grabbed a bunch of Africa. Might get the Greeks. They're getting really close. It's just so hard to attack that area without the help of Turkey. Thing is, there's a huge African alliance here, which the Austrians are gonna have to fight alone. Oh, they have two fronts though because of the bridge. That's so hilarious. Surprised that Brazil's not doing a bit better. Oh man, does Russia fall? Does Russia fall to the Kazakhs? Oh man, they're so close. That is a thick Kazakhstan. Really big. Look at that team they have too. Oh, finally. It finally happened. Austria took out Greece, which was a really big enemy. Now, okay, the thing is, I don't like how little territory you have back at home. Okay, well, maybe the Czechs just fall. Yeah, the Czechs just fall. Okay, well, that was a beautiful alliance. I felt like at some point they were going to backstab each other because they had to. It's nice that one of them just died. Thing is, Russia might end Austria. You need to ally to Kazakhstan right now. You need to pray that Kazakhstan gets to Moscow. If not, more than likely Vienna will fall to the Russians. Oh. Well, oh, what the? They literally pushed. Oh man, so they moved their capital. Now it's gonna be way harder to get them out of the war. Well, at least they won't. Okay, Kazakhstan's gonna be looking a little bit better without an enemy to the south. Kazakhstan's got some money. I think it's because a lot of the Asian powers are. Is this gonna be it? Oh, they moved it again. I forgot how many moves they got. It all depends. Okay, now Austria's attacking Turkey. If Russia falls here, Austria's gonna get so much land back in Europe. Problem is Turkey regained a lot of Greece and the Balkan territories. Oh boy, that could have been dangerous. Austria is allied to an African power now though, with Libya. Austria is not looking good. They're just in so many different wars. I know they have a lot of money, but I don't think this is, oh, it's Brazil that's starting to monopolize that continent, whatever it is. Austria's looking really not, just kind of ugly right now, to be honest. Meanwhile, Australia just chilling. They're literally just surrounded by friends. Oh, Australia at some point regained Austrian territory. They're now actually kind of winning this war between each other for the bridge. Mongolia is now second place, then it's Brazil and Kazakhstan. Australia's falling because they're not doing anything. Austria might be losing all their land here soon. Oh yeah, Mali lost part of the bridge, or Mali gained a part of the bridge. Oh, there's unions happening. Finland they just ate Ireland. Oh man, Russia's looking so weak right now because I realize Mongolia is redoing Mongolian Empire things. Oh, and America is attacking Austria across the Atlantic. Also, Australia is really winning the bridge war. Oh, here it is. Russia's going in after Austria. There's a little bit of a back and forth, but it's okay. These are literally like the hordes coming back. Like the Kazakhstan-Mongolian alliance is centuries ago when the hordes, the golden horde, all that stuff coming back, except they're using like AK-47s on horses this time. How did you get those alliances, Australia? That's crazy. That's such a powerful team. Russia's trying to help out their friend Finland here against Luxembourg. Can't believe how well Luxembourg's doing here too. Oh boy, Greenland now moving in after Finland's Iceland. Jamaica has almost made it. Jamaican forces have almost made it to DC. Something I've never said. Oh, they're getting pushed back now though. Ooh, the hordes are backstabbing each other. Okay, the alliance has fallen. That huge alliance. India's looking kind of weak because Indonesia's really pushing through. A little bit of a back and forth between the hordic nations. Pakistan might win the war against India. They're very close to New Delhi. Man, it looks like Mongolia's almost out of money, but they're not. Austria's actually attacking Kazakhstan, who was like their best friend before. The Mali Empire is going to be a huge threat. I don't know how Austria's continuing to fight all these wars. So many threats. Luxembourg's about to collapse, their only friend. There's African powers that like Austria, but Austria continues to lose their bridge. Again, the Jamaican forces knocking on these steps of DC, and they did it. I cannot believe it. Jamaica has taken over the United States of America. That's going to be a fun time. Oh, there's a little bit of backstabbing finally between this. I never thought this would happen. I wouldn't even bet $1 million on this. Austria has outlived Australia in this campaign. They were clearly so much more powerful. Ooh, New Zealand just got, well, they just got overtaken for the bridge. Now, Austria is going to be able to take over a lot of the bridge. They might be a little bit distracted by, in terms of wars. I cannot believe they outlived in Europe. That's crazy. Ooh, and that alliance is going to keep them a little bit more safe. Austria and Finland. Oh, Austria, Russia, Finland, Luxembourg. It's pretty much just an EU alliance against Kazakhstan, I think. Meanwhile, here go the Austrians now meeting in the Indian Ocean. They now have a new neighbor, which is Indonesia. I never thought I'd say that. Oh, did you backstab someone, or did you just, yeah, oh, there goes Austria. Maybe not. Okay, they moved on the bridge. Okay, they're gonna be safe for now. Also, I forgot that Austria entered onto the North American continent with the fall of the US. Okay, it's gonna be hard to collapse Austria because they're like squarely in the bridge. Holy crap, what's going on with, oh man, Kenya taking over all of the African continent. Austria's gonna be safe for now, but they're probably gonna get kicked out of Europe. Now the Jamaicans are being pushed back by Greenland. Mexico's finally got their old territory back. Texas, California, New Mexico. Oh man, they have all the way up to Alaska too. That's beautiful. And is almost really close to taking over all of Africa. I can't believe it was New Zealand that collapsed Australia too. That's just, what a twist. Austria won't be winning this game, but the fact that they're still around when there's only 20 nations left, very impressive. What you have to do technically is wait for the Indonesians to collapse, because it might be possible. Oh, look at Austria fight the Indonesians, and then they can get all the bridge. They might be able to monopolize the bridge, which would be crazy. Austria was also trying to kick the Kenyans out of this part of the bridge. All side note, but Iran has a Middle Eastern empire here. They're actually allied to Austria. Oh man. Okay, so let's see if... Ooh, who is this? Gabon almost took out Kenya. That would definitely help out Austria because Kenya's a big threat to the continental European territory. Greenland might possibly win this game, to be honest. Ooh, and there goes Gabon. Brazil's having trouble here because Chile is easily hidden behind the mountains. Oh, they're allied, so never mind. Okay, well, I will say at least Austria is the final member of Europe, the final standing member, original member of Europe, because Kazakhstan has taken over all of the continent. Oh wow, poor Iran. They're surrounded by enemies. This shouldn't be surprising. Austria had a nice bridge to fall back on if things went crazy in the continent back at home. Statistically speaking, Greenland is the #1 nation in terms of area, but then it goes Kenya, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Brazil. Austria still has a lot of money, 76,000 gold. But they're only in third place, Kazakhstan, with over 100,000. Kazakhstan does have their friend India. They might waste a lot of gold keeping India alive. Ooh, I think there goes Austria. Austria just lost all their Iberian territory. They're fighting on this bridge, which it will be hard. It will be hard to take them out. Man, look at Kenya go. They have everything in Africa, and they have the Arabian Peninsula. They have the Iberian Peninsula. Jamaica's hidden their capital back on the Yucatan Peninsula. Pretty smart move. They did take back their home island, but now they're getting eaten by Brazil. Yeah, Brazil's going to be a problem. Brazil's going to kill everyone here. It's going to be Brazil versus Greenland and America. Actually, I don't know. Kenya is starting to push in. Can't believe Japan survived for this long. Usually Japan has horrible games here, and I figured that was going to happen. Kazakhstan has diplomatically annexed India. Ooh, wow. Austria's taken... I didn't even realize Austria was still technically back in continental Europe. They took a lot of land back. And there it goes. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Austria has been annexed, and they've been annexed by Brazil. It was a diplomatic thing. I really thought Austria was coming back, but man, they did a great job. Now, I guess if you're rooting for Austria, you got to root for Brazil now, because that is their overlord. Austria is used to being in a union with a partner, so instead of Hungary now, it's the Brazilians. I don't know if there's any similarities. There's 7 nations left. Some ground is being made against Kazakhstan because they're running out of money, and they also, I mean, unless Kenya funds them a little bit more, and you also ran out of money though. Oh, there it goes. They've ran out. Will they peace out before they lose this? Well, they won't with the Brazilians, and they moved it once. Really all depends on, I think, between Brazil and Kenya, to be honest. It doesn't look like Brazil's that powerful, but they have like all of Europe, and then there's all this fighting on the bridge. Interesting 2 alliances that's going on. We're down to the last 5 nations. Ooh, Kenya's about to take that Brazilian capital. They did technically, and Brazil's ran out of money. It's Kenya versus the world. Okay, here goes the Japanese. No, but here goes Kenya, and it's Indonesia coming out on top. I mean, they were pretty close to the Australian bridge. Maybe that was the key ingredient to this victory. Still want to give the dub to Austria, though. That was amazing.
Big thanks to my patrons. You can find a link in the description down below to support me.
The beautiful Megan Underwood.
Drew, I'm your dad. Back with the milk.
Look outside.
A fat
I
normal.
cannot sleep without
Jack
Drew's voice.
Draven's annoying
Amateur
friend.
archaeology.
Carmel
Frederick
S.
Tiblin,
Inquisitor
Joey,
Xerius.
John, Denver,
Carino is
Luxembourg
best
lover.
girl. Sebi, if you hear
Robert
this,
E.
I love
Tambrin,
you. The Great
the
Ralphie.
Mexican 760. And Zany Boy.